Okay, so there was a Southern California automotive designer who, after designing some of the most iconic sports cars to ever roll out of Detroit, he went on to design one of the toughest lines of tractors of the 70s for a company in Ohio. Who was it? And what was the line of tractors? Your answer in 3, 2, 1. That designer? Well, that would be this guy, Larry Shinoda. And the tractor he designed? That's the white Field Boss. Larry came from the SoCal hot rod culture of the late 40s, and he had a ton of natural design talent. Enough that he ended up getting accepted into the Art Center of Design in LA. He wanted to design cars. And ultimately, that's exactly what got him kicked out of art school. See, to him, there was zero value in sketching bowls of fruit and junk like that in fundamental classes. So he didn't go. And they kicked him out. Turns out that was the best thing that ever happened to him, too. Shortly thereafter, he nailed an interview with Ford, and they brought him to Detroit in the mid-50s. A couple years later, he ends up working at GM, where his sense of style and his background in hot rodding and racing ends up landing him a dream job designing Corvettes with Zora Arkus Duntov. The 63 split window, the Stingray, that's his work. While he was there, he became friends with Bunky Knudsen, the general manager of Chevrolet, and he was kind of a mover and a shaker in the automotive industry to begin with. And when Bunky got passed over for the role of president in 1967, he left, and he took Larry with him. So in 1968, I think it was February, they both went to work for Ford, and they immediately got to work shaking things up. So Ford was nervous that the Mustang was getting too much to be kind of a, cutesy car. So they turned Larry loose on it, and he worked his magic on it. And for 1969, that's where the Boss 302 and the Boss 429 cars came from. And in my opinion, those are absolute masterpieces. Those are my favorite Mustangs of all time. The time at Ford, though, it was real short-lived. Lee Iacocca fired Bunky Knudsen in September of 1969, and Larry walked out a couple weeks after. So after the dust settles, the two of them get together and they start a motorhome company called Rectrans. Meanwhile, White Motor Company is watching all of this go down. And they're watching it because they needed strong leaders at the time. And so they wanted Bunky and they wanted Larry too. And so they bought Rectrans to get him. Larry started redesigning some of White's semis as VP of design and shortly thereafter moved into the tractors. The leadership group got sold pretty hard on the whole Boss concept and they leaned in real hard on it. At one point in time, you could get everything from like a snowblower to a semi wearing Boss badging of one sort or another. Anyway, so Larry was VP of design until May of 1976 when White shut down his business unit. Afterwards, he starts a small design firm in Livonia, I think, in Michigan, Detroit suburb. Who do you reckon was one of his first clients? Sure enough, it was White Motor Company. Shinoda Design Group was on retainer for the next few years while they finished up bossing pretty much the entire product lineup. So at any rate, that's how a hot rod muscle car designer ended up designing White tractors. Till next time, make it a good one. I'll catch you in the comments.